Now in this presentation, we'll see how to interface the redpit.ia using Python. So let's start. So first of all, this also uses the SCPI server, or sometimes called as SCPI server. So SCPI is an acronym for Standard Commands for Programmable Instruments. So it was first released in 1990. So this defines a standard for syntax and commands, to use in controlling programmable test and measurement devices, or to such as automatic test equipment and electronic test equipment. So these are basically ASCII textual strings which are sent to the instrument over the physical layer, which uses the protocol IEEE 488.1. So this was introduced. This has introduced generic commands such as configure and measure. Just to this is very similar to using G and M codes in CNC milling machine. So in CNC we used to use G and M codes to give commands, right? So the same way for test and measurement equipments we use the SCPI.
Now let's see how we can program the redpit.ia using Python. So as usual, we need to head on to the development section and we need to start the SCPI server. So click on run to start the SCPI server. Now you can see the SCPI server running and the IP address 169.254.184.93 in port 5000. So now what we need to do is we need to note down this IP address, and then we need to create a folder, and in this folder we need to have all the redpit.ia programs that we wish to run. I have two programs, toggle LED and clear LED, which I have written in Python, and then we need to have one library called as redpit.ia SCPI. This you can find it in the website itself. In the GitHub repo you can find this. So this is necessary to send the binaries to the SCPI server via the Python code. Now I'll show you what is there in the toggle LED. So this is the toggle LED code. As you can see, we are importing system time and then the redpit.ia SCPI for sending it to the SCPI server, and then two LEDs we are initializing as with bits 0 and 1. And then what we are doing is we are printing that toggling LED thing, and then LED 1 is 0 and LED 2 is 1 in the bits. So what we'll do is we'll send this to the SCPI server using this command rps.txt transmit text, and then the text that we are going to transmit is digital pin LED str of LED1 plus then string 1 meaning turn on the LED, and then for LED2 string 0 meaning turn off the LED. So we'll toggle this for half a second in both the places, because here period is 1 and 1/2 is 0.5. So for 0.5 seconds LED 1 will be on, LED 2 will be off, and the next 0.5 seconds LED 1 will be off and LED 2 will be on. So now let's see the demo of how this works. First of all, we need to have the command prompt open, and then we have the camera also open here. The redpit.ia is up and it's running. Now let's see what and all we have here. So we have the redpit.ia SCPI, and then also this directory is same as the directory which had this. So this is the same directory, Python rp/python. Now let's try to program the redpit.ia with the toggle LED program. So the command is very simple, the same way as you run Python programs. Python toggle LED .py, and then the IP address of the SCPI server 169.254.184.93. So once we run this, you will see the print command which says here, the print command which says toggling LED 0 and 1, and then you will see that these two LEDs will start toggling. Yeah. So as you can see, as soon as I typed this, these two LEDs started to toggle. If I cancel it, it will stop. I can run it again. So again these two LEDs will start to toggle. This is how it works. And say after we stop running this program, you can see that the LED 2 is on. So I've written one another code just to clear the bits of the LED. I'll show you that code also. Yeah, this code is very simple. Just write 0 to both the LED bits. That's all. This code is very simple. Now let's see. So the same thing, just change the code to clear led.py and then the IP address. Now you will see that this LED will go off. It turned off. So this is how the Python works. If you want to run the code again, you can again run the toggle LED code. It will start. These LEDs will start toggling. Yeah. So that's how simple it is to run the Python code. That's it.
So next, let us see how we can read the analog input into the Python using the redpit-IR. So let's move ahead. So these are the connections. So we just have a potentiometer connected to the analog input 3 of the redpit-IR, and then one to the VCC and the other to the ground. So same as the MATLAB example. So let's see how to capture analog input using Python. So as usual, we need to start the SCPA server, and as you can see, it's running in this IP address and this port 169.254.184.93 in this IP. Now let's look at the Python code. So first of all, as usual, you need to get these files, the redpit-IR SCPA Python file inside the Python directory where you are going to work. I've written the analog input Python code. Now let's open it using IDLE. So the code is very simple. It's very small also. So as usual, we'll import the system and time, and then the redpit-IR SCPA as SCPA. And then what we do is we just read the analog input pin. So first of all, we specify the which analog input pin we are going to read. That is the pin 3. And then this command, it will be given to the redpit-IR SCPA server as transmit text command. And then in return, the redpit-IR SCPA server will give the float value of the voltage read through that, and then we'll assign that to the variable value, and then we'll print that value in the command prompt itself. So we'll print that value, and this will be going on in an infinite loop with a time period delay of 0.5 seconds. So the code is very simple. Now let's see the execution. So as usual, you need to have the command prompt open in this window. Then let's have the camera also. So as you can see, the redpit-IR is up and running. Now let's type the command. So the command is very simple. Python. First of all, let's look at the directory. Yeah. So Python. This file analog input .py, and then the IP address 169.254.184.93. Now as soon as I start running this, it will show the voltage red. So these are the connections here. This is the positive voltage plus 3.3, blue color is the negative, and then the middle of the potentiometer where it will be varying this potentiometer's value, I'm capturing it in the green color wire which goes to the AIN3 analog input 3 pin. Now I'll run this code now. Now as you can see, it starts measuring the voltage. Now it's 2.1 volt approximately. Now I'll start rotating this potentiometer, and you'll see that the voltage decreases. And I rotate in this direction, it goes up to 0 volt. Now this is the lowest voltage. Now again, if I increase the voltage, it will start increasing 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and just like that it will go up to 3.3 volt approximately. So it keeps increasing 1.6, 1.7, 0.92, 0.12, 0.3. So maximum it will go up to 3.3 volt, 3.2 volt approximately. So if you rotate in this direction, it will decrease, then it will increase. So yeah, this is how you capture analog voltage using Python. So next, the most interesting feature of the redpit-IR, the Jupyter notebooks. So I'll tell you how this works. So first of all, we have the zinc SoC, the Redpitaya, the heart of the Redpitaya zinc SoC. So the zinc SoC has Cortex A series processors, Cortex A9 processor or Cortex A53 processor probably inside the zinc SoC. So over that we have the programmable logic PL, the processor is PS and the program logic is PL. Then the PL we have the Python kernel and Ubuntu based Linux, that is the Peta Linux. So we have all these things above the processor thing. So we have the Linux kernel there, and then on top of the Linux kernel we are running the Jupyter web server, and then the Jupyter web after we have the Jupyter web server running, we can access it through any web browser which is connected. The device should be connected to the same network of the web server, and then on top of that we can program any Python application. So this is one of the most interesting feature of Redpitaya. So let's move ahead and let's see how we can do this in Redpitaya. So now we are going to see one of the Redpitaya's coolest feature, that is programming using the Jupyter notebooks, inbuilt Jupyter notebooks in Python. So head on to the development section and then you will see the Jupyter notebooks icon here. So click on it. This will start the Jupyter notebooks. So as you can see, this is hosted directly from the Redpitaya. As the web address says, Redpitaya's web address. So this is hosted directly from the device. So this Jupyter notebooks is a very useful tool. It already has some pre-built examples such as driving LEDs, controlling GPIOs, writing slow analog and then IOs, and then reading slow analog IOs, some periodic sine wave and arbitrary signal generators, oscilloscopes using forced and level triggers, and then logic analyzer and logic generator, and then the regular generator and oscilloscope. And then you have some other examples. So I'd suggest you to go through the analog inputs, outputs, and signal generators things. So it will be very useful. So in this video I'll be doing the drive LEDs demo. So I'll click on it. So this will open the Jupyter notebooks. As you can see here, the LED is blinking. So this shows that the this is the LED blinking example. What I'll do, I'll minimize the window here, and then I'll get you to the camera page. Yeah, so we'll have the camera page in one half and then the Redpitaya page in one half. Now what I do, I'll start running these code one by one. So once you click on this cell, it will run that cell. So first of all, we import the library in Redpitaya. So we click on it, then this will run, and then we create an LED object, that is LED equal to fpga.led. We run this, and then since we have 8 user controllable LEDs, in the next line we declare an object LED1 that controls the second LED and also the initial state of the LED, which is 0. So LED1 equal to 1, 0. So we'll run this. So this is 0. Now again LED1.write1 will turn on the LED. So as you can see, the second LED has turned on. Then we'll run the code further, and then this will turn off the LED, LED1.write0. So the LED is turned off. Now the blink LED example also very simple. You just write a for loop in Python, and then we write 1 and 0 for 10 times. So this one is also going to be very simple. So import time, and then once you start running this will blink for 10 times. So this Jupyter notebook facility is very useful. As you can see, this one can be used to program, and it's also very user friendly and informative. Now what I'll do, we have LED1 here, right? So what I'll do, I'll try to modify this code. So LED, we'll put LED2 equal to LED of 2, 0. 2, 0. So this will initialize the LED2, and it will initialize it in the off position. So now we have LED2 here. I'll come to the a blink LED example. Now what I'll do, after this I will write LED2 dot write of LED2 dot write of 0, and then LED1 dot and after this LED2 dot write of 1. So what this will do, this code will toggle the LEDs. So this will keep toggling the LEDs 10 times, like this one and this two. So the first, second and the third LEDs again and again. Now let's try to execute these. So I'll run all this, the same thing. Now we have initialized the LEDs, two LEDs, on, off, done. Then we'll come to this example. Yeah, we'll run this now. Yeah, so these LEDs keep on toggling because here we have LED2 dot write of 0. When LED1, when we write 1 to LED1, we write 0 to LED2. Then when we write 0 to LED1, we write 1 to LED2. That is why they kept on toggling. Now what we'll do, before LED1 dot close, we'll write one more section, LED2 dot write of 0, because when the loop ended, LED2 dot write was 1 was there. So then LED2 dot write of 2 dot close. Now we will see that once I execute this one, the LED2 will go off. So yeah, so this is how we program the RedPita using Jupyter Notebooks. This one is really easy. As you can see, within few seconds I modified the code to do something different. So this is a really user friendly thing. So thanks for watching.